All right, the first video was about how to access your files, and this video is going to be specifically about the template and the answer document. So in your folder, you see, in your program folder, you see these various documents, and this is the PDE template. This is what we're actually going to turn into PDE at the end of the summer. But it's not where we want you to work. The thing to know about this template is that it's locked down by PDE. It's very difficult to work in. And so we've created an answer document where you're going to work instead. We really don't want you to work in this because of we're probably going to have to do more work to clean up formatting changes, or if you make multiple copies of this, they can't be put together later on. So it's just going to be much cleaner not to work in the template. However, we do want you to understand the template. So as you know, there's multiple tabs down here. There's the courses tab, which you've already done, and the faculty tab that you've already done. So we're halfway home. But a lot of the answers, the bulk of the work is really in the program information tab, and that's where we're working now. If you open this up, what you're going to see is for most of these questions, it just says enter in answer document. Right? Or sometimes it says leave blank, the dean's office will answer this. But there is also quite a bit of numerical data that we've added to this since you turned it back into us. We have enrollment data, graduate data, number of candidates that have received certification, number of candidates who are non-completers, who started the program but who did not finish. We have the first time passing rate for the content area assessments, Praxis or PECT. We have data about pre-service testing for BSc teachers and so forth. Right? Some of the questions that you have to answer require you to analyze these numeric data. And so you're going to have to look at the template in order to do some of your analysis, but we still don't want you to type in the template. So it is going to be a little bit tricky. You're going to be having the directions document, the rubric document printed off, referring to it, sometimes then looking at the template document, but still doing most of your work in the answer document. The answer document looks a little bit different than the rest, and you see there's an icon that maybe looks a little unfamiliar. This is done in Microsoft 2016 through SharePoint, and it's a way of using Word this similar to Google Docs, where multiple people can work on it at the same time, and you can share the document through a link. This version of Word is coming to campus within about the next month or so, but it won't come to campus until they can integrate it specifically with our existing usernames and passwords. But I did get early access and created documents that I then shared with every program. When you open up this document, it's going to open up in a browser window, whatever browser is the default, I guess. For me, it opened up in Safari on my Mac. And one thing that's different about this compared to Google Docs is you have to click Edit in Browser before you can start to edit. One thing that I think is a little bit nicer about this than Google Docs is you have a lot more of the options and various ways of working that you're used to in Word. So slightly more powerful than Google Docs in some ways. All right, your answer document, we've really copied and pasted the questions that were in the template and put them here. And so you're just going to say enter program mission. You're going to put your program mission there. If you don't have a program mission, you need to come up with one. Every program has to have a mission. This particular question may be hard for some folks. I provided the conceptual framework for the unit, which does have a mission in it. So it's titled 2.0 because it's not really the answer that goes here. You have to have a specific program mission, but you might want to use the unit mission if you're developing one and come up with something particular for your program. 2.2 says, how does the program mission drive program changes? That's why you really need it to be specific to your program, because you're going to want to relate major changes that you've made in the last 7 years in your program to things that are specific to your mission. So if you've changed the curriculum in your program, that doesn't relate to the generic mission of the unit. It would need to relate to some mission of your program. It doesn't have to be a long mission, a couple sentences. A short paragraph, I would say, is probably what you're looking at there. All right, so just kind of goes through the questions that you have to answer. Answer here, you're going to type your answer. But then on some questions, I've provided what I'm calling a general answer. Describe the recruitment plan for the program. So there are certain things that are true across the board in BSc Teacher Ed, and so I put that answer here. This answer is definitely something that you're going to want to revise and add to. First of all, I may have said some things here that are true generally, but really not true specifically to your program. You might not like the way I explained it, but more importantly, you need to add to it, because this is a review of your program. It is not a review of Millersville University or of Teacher Ed generally. PD is going to approve or disapprove every single program separately. And so they're going to be looking at program specific information here. And so it's really important that you talk about, well, in chemistry, this is how we do recruitment. Again, the important thing to know about this answer document is you can take this link, you can email it to yourself, you can email it to other people. Multiple people can work on this document at the same time. If you're confused about a question, you can call me and we can discuss it, and I can open up the same document that you're working on and we can work on it together and see the same information at the same time. Right? So the answer document is going to be really, hopefully, a convenient way for us all to work together, for multiple people in your department to work together at the same time. All right, so now that you've kind of gotten the intro here, what I'm hoping you'll do is read through this document. Read through the questions, think about how you would answer the questions, read through my answers, think about whether or not you need to, to what extent you need to revise them. Start to develop questions that we can discuss when we meet together. All right, looking forward to meeting with you and working on this process together.